Welcome to Single Stories, a fun, creative, and unfiltered chat with me, Ginger Rabe. I'm the founder of Ginger Rabe Designs and Seaside Drafting and Designs. I'm a designer, architect, entrepreneur, mom, and now an empty nester. After more than 20 years in the interior design and architect world, I've seen it all, from building dream homes and starting 2 businesses to raising my son solo and navigating all the chaos, creativity, and courage it takes to build the life you want on your own terms. This podcast is where we'll dive into the stories behind the spaces, the real life journey of what it means to design a career, a business, and a home, all while chasing your dreams and finding your voice. We'll talk about the industry, the grind, the wins, the mess ups, and everything in between. Whether you're a fellow designer, a business owner, a mom trying to figure it out, or just someone who loves a good story, Single Stories is for you. Let's build something beautiful, one story at a time. Hi, how are you? How are you doing? Another day in paradise of the design world. Just kidding. So yesterday I was going to record a whole thing about when Dorian picked the fabric for my client when he was 3. And I got really busy with work and engineers and drafting and clients and my contractors and my staff. And the day started at 8 in the morning and I didn't get home till 11 o'clock at night. And I always say the 5 o'clock club. I used to be in the 5 o'clock club, but then I wanted to sleep. So I've been sleeping in lately and not getting to work till like 7 or 8. And I'm going back to the 5 o'clock club because we're going back to working out. Excited. I get stitches out today. If a lot of you didn't know, I got cancer, but it's nothing big, super easy. But I get stitches out today, so I'm super excited. So I had to be work a lot yesterday, so I could go do that today. And then I get to go back to working out. And if you didn't know, this summer we had a lot of fun, went to a lot of concerts, and I tripped off a curb. And I've also been dealing with a sprained ankle for almost the last month. And it happened the day before I went to Nashville, which Nashville is really fun. And I would love to go and live out there and design out there, but I'm here. Kids are here. So yeah, that's all the fun stuff I get to deal with today. So that's why we're recording this really quickly before we go. I have tons of work to do, but I wanted to record this because of yesterday. Again, I was going to do the really fun one. I'll probably record that real quickly too. But I want to talk about the design business and our industry. So you have to be tough to be in this business. It takes thick skin to be in this business. You have clients, you have contractors, you have reps. I love my reps, by the way. They're so sweet and so nice to me. But things go wrong. You have product, you have designs, you have drafting, you have your staff, you have outside people, you have your clients who have friends that know a contractor that know a friend. So that's kind of what I want to talk about because I have, as you know, I'm also a teach architecture and design because I really do love our industry. But so many times I hear people say, I can't wait to get out of college and then I'm immediately going to start a business and it's to be this amazing design business on a hill that's glamorous and lives in a glass house and we're going to have millions of clients and they're going to be amazing with no budget. Doesn't really happen. I have had some amazing clients with no budget, but they have a budget and they just don't really tell you what their budget is sometimes, but there's always a budget. You just don't have endless amounts of money to design anything you want. It doesn't happen. No matter how much money you have, you still have bills and you still have a budget. Sometimes those people have bigger bills. So I tell all of my new designers, and especially if you're in my design coach collective coaching, your budget is not their budget. So be cost conscious of everybody because not everybody wants it to be beautiful, but also you don't need to spend thousands and hundreds of $1,000s on marble floors if your clients have kids and they only plan on being there for 5 or 6 years unless it's a really big want. So remember that. This is something to keep in the back of your mind. But so I'm going to start off by saying that this industry, again, is you need thick skin. You have to be business savvy. You need to understand people. You need to understand how things run. And you also have to be very conscious about people's personalities. Everybody has a different personality, even in a home with two people that live together, married, roommates, whatever it is. You also need to really take in their consideration and their personalities. I have studied psychology. I have studied social cues. There's an amazing book that I read, and I can't think of it right now, but I will talk about it later. There's all those things you need to understand. So, in saying that, this industry, we got really busy in 2020, just like everybody else in the industry. We were slammed from 2020 to 2023. I probably every month had at least 26 jobs, whether it was just doing designs, doing drafting, designing the home, full remodels. We moved a whole house basically for one kitchen from the one side of the house to the other. We had post tension, we had to climb and dig, and it was a big, the whole home was remodeled. It took about a year. I think that's the one that literally almost made me want to quit. And my contractor and I work very well together, but there was elements on the other side that really made me just say, "That's it. I don't want to do this anymore." And I'm pretty tough. If most people know me, I'm pretty black and white. My Ginger Rabe designs and my Seaside drafting logos are black and white because I'm in business black and white because we believe in honesty, truth, showing up, being upfront, doing a good job, right? Hey, look, my belt is black and white. So apparently I carry it everywhere with me. Anyways, so one day, not particularly this job. It was another it was another job probably like 2 years ago. Honestly, I don't even remember why, but I remember I'm in my studio now, my office. We're by the beach. I love being here. I remember walking out, and I had full staff then. Back then, we were so busy. I had about five five people working for me and three of my family members working for me. So we had a lot of people plus me. So there's 9 people. Plus we brought the dogs in. I remember walking out one day, and I think only three of my staff was here at the time. And these are my staff before they went off to college. And I remember walking out and be like, why won't anybody fire me? Just fire me. Nobody wants to be fired. I want to be fired. I want to collect unemployment, and I don't want to work anymore, and I don't want to be in this industry anymore. I think I said I wanted to go and work. What did I want to do? Oh, I think I just wanted to go work and sell flowers. No idea. No idea why. So nobody would fire me all day. I said, "Oh, somebody fire me." My Emerson, who's been with me forever since he was 19, he came out and he's all, "You can't be fired. You're the owner and the boss. Like, we can't fire you." And I said, "Please fire me. I don't want to do this anymore." And then he said, "Maybe you just need to go for a walk." Which I did. I went and walked the beach, went and saw a friend. I didn't come back for like 2 days. I think I just was really burnt out. Um, which is why I'm doing this podcast, because this industry can burn you out so bad if you don't have other outlets, like creative outlets. I have a few creative outlets, and this is one that I'm doing now just to give back. So, like I said, I have Design Coach Collective, which we call DCC. That's my coaching company. I love coaching those people because it's all about design and business, and that's it. It's none of the fluffy stuff. It's like A to Z. How do you get there? What should you do? Here's pitfalls. What happened? Let's fix you, in the sense of fixing the situation. Let's better the situation. So I have creative outlets. I didn't back then. I was just like work, work, work. I woke up at 4:30 in the morning. I was in the office by 6 a.m. I didn't leave till midnight. Then I would just go home, go to sleep, and do it again. And this was Monday through Saturday. The only day I didn't work was Sunday. So I literally was killing myself. And nobody would fire me. Nobody would let me go. And so I decided, well, I gotta suck it up. I gotta figure it out, and I'm gonna do it. So there are times when this business will make you do it. There's clients that will make you want to do it. There's colleagues that will make you want to, but don't, I always say, don't quit, push through, or maybe take another avenue to the left, find another space, find another area, because maybe that environment is not great for you. but in the sense, don't quit. I didn't quit my business, clearly. Um, I kept going. And the reason I kept going is because of the fact that I had family that was depending on me. I had a son who was expecting me to, take care of him, which I absolutely had to. And we were young and it was during COVID and we were stuck inside, even though that was probably the best thing that ever happened for my business because we exploded. I rewrote my business plan. I rewrote how we would have policies and procedure. I wrote my entire policy and procedure book, which I have continually changed throughout time. But my policy and procedure book is like this thick, and we do follow the steps or steps we follow, all that. So it was a good time. And I had clients that couldn't travel anymore and they wanted to stay home. So we were making these amazing spa like homes from their living rooms to their kitchens, the backyards. It was great. So it was a really, really good time. But it's not all about designing and the fun stuff. If you own a business, if you run a business, and if you don't and want to get into it, I always say go work for somebody else for 5 years, make all the mistakes on their dime in the sense because there's so much to learn. I went and worked for people part-time while running my business because I wanted to learn things. Whenever I wanted to learn something, I would go work for somebody else. I would still to this day work part-time for somebody if I really wanted to learn something. I mean, I want to learn glass blowing. I think I want to go work somewhere for it. Maybe I should just go down the street and try it. There's a place, Barrio Glass, down the way. Maybe I should go check them out. I do really actually want to do that. Anyways, so you have to figure out how to do it. So there is 10%, 10 is all we really get to be creative. I am creative at night, so I do my 3D drawings, I do my designs, I write out what my staff needs to do. I'm super creative in drawing and thinking of exactly how all this is going to work together. I put it all out, I give it to my staff, they put it on paper for us. I come back, I double check it, we make revisions, right? Then we go through the client with it. It's all coming out of my head. It's all inside here, all those ideas and designs, and they come out. And my staff is very talented, and they help so much. My team is great, so I couldn't live without them. So they do a really really good job. But most of my day is accounting, marketing, business, let's see, filing. I have people to help me do this, don't get me wrong, but a lot of it, I really need to be in it to do it. Accounting, I have accounting, but I oversee everything. I really, really want to know where our business is, where it's going, where it's not going, and why we need to shift. So in 2023, we split the company. It's still all the same. But we split the company into drafting, which is Seaside Drafting, and we split into Ginger Rabe Designs. Full just designing over here, project managing, all that stuff. That's over here. That's like the furniture, the fabric, the project managing, the showing the guys what to do on site, stuff like that. Seaside Drafting is totally drafting, getting plans into the city, doing architecture, all that. So we split. People are having a hard time understanding what do you do and how does the whole company do it. So that's what we did. So most of my day is explaining the company, explaining the processes, explaining contracts, um, all that. I went and took a contract law class to learn about that. There are so much to do in a business. It's not just all the fun stuff. Now, the marketing side, the business development side is probably my favorite side because I get to go to the events. I get to go to modern luxury events, which thanks guys. I love you guys. I get to go to Wolfe events and learn about kitchens. I went to Kohler, Wisconsin to learn how everything they make is made and learn about the business, and it was amazing. I've learned so much, but it helps. You learn all these things to educate your clients, right? So that's a lot of what you have to do. So our business isn't, it's not just making pretty things and picking out pretty things. There is work into it. Now they have all these AI things that help you, and we're thinking about getting an AI thing to answer the phone, but I really want a personal person to answer the phone, and it's hard because our phone system, we're working sometimes with clients. It is hard to answer the phone, so I'm always calling people back or texting them. I'll call you back, and you can text our 800 number, so it's great, but it's just it's rough, right? So owning a business is not just like, well, you went to design school. I went to design school. I'm designing all this stuff. It's great. I love it. I went to architect school. I'm going to own my own business and go. Well, I wish you the best of luck if you do. I did it and had to kind of go backwards, which is why now I teach the correct way of to do it. So you don't want to go backwards. And also in this industry, you're very much alone in the sense if you work for yourself. I'm lucky I have a team. I have great people in the industry that we talk to. And then we have our coaching company now. So those people, we all kind of converse with each other. So it's great. And that's why a big reason I go to all of our industry events is to connect and see and ask what works for them and what doesn't. So business is owning a business, owning a design business. It's a lot of business. It's not a lot of finding the whole time. Um, so 3 ways if you want to make your business better. I teach this in a very more intense level in my coaching business. But one, get an amazing accountant. Us designers and drafters, we suck at accounting. Oh my gosh, my poor accountant, who has also been my friend since I was 25, would make me 175. No, just kidding. I trust her, which is why she's my accountant. Oh, she's so mad at me all the time, and I'm sorry. I do everything wrong. I do it all wrong, and then I put it in the wrong category. I don't know what to do with it, and oh, good lord, just get a really good accountant. I do have one. And I have another one that I have all my coaching company go to. Um, so that would be the first thing. Get a good accountant. Understand um, entities. So when I was younger, before I went to design school, while I was going to veterinarian school, I worked at an accounting firm. I learned about entities, Secretary of State. I learned about how you actually profit from your business, how you do your taxes from your business, all of those. So that is something that you really want to understand. And if you don't, I would suggest taking some business classes. It's so great. You will learn a lot. Take a couple, take a year. I mean, take it on the side. It's always good to keep educating yourself. That's in this industry. If you don't keep learning, you're going to stop and not keep going. So you need to keep learning and keep going, and also give back. I think that really helps a lot too. And the third step is if you really want to be the designer and the business person, you need to set a very strict schedule. My schedule this summer, I decided to have more fun this summer because I have been working for 20 straight years every single day. Um, I went to Nashville. I actually checked out Franklin. Thought about moving there. It's beautiful. I would love to move there. I have friends that live out there. I would be happy out there. But again, my son's here, and if I left, I would have to do 6 months there, 6 months here. You know, who knows? Who knows where everything will go? But I went there. I've traveled all over, gone to concerts. I've gone to baseball games. I've enjoyed the beach. I've gone for walks in the morning. I've watched my son surf. I've played with the dogs. We've gone on walks and hikes. And before, it was literally work 18 hours a day, every day, every day, every day. When you're starting a business, this is the third thing that you really need to know. If you're starting a business, you have to be committed. The first 3 years are rough. The next two are okay, and once you go past year 5, you're doing better. You're getting it. You're moving on, and you're moving fast. So I would say, getting a good accountant, understand the business, and really, really be dedicated. So again, going back into to where we are in this industry, understand it's hard. Understand that you have to have um, some thick skin. People will yell at you. So here's a story before we leave. This was, oh my gosh, I can't even think. I always have to gauge everything on how old my child was because I officially started my business a year before he was born. Even though I was doing this before, I didn't really start the business until a year after he was, or a year before he was born. Um, so let's say, okay, I think he was like 5-ish. I don't know. I had a client. This wasn't even my client, by the way. This was another designer's client who asked me to come in and help. And they needed help because they didn't know how to project manage. They didn't understand construction. They didn't know what to do. And then they left me. And this is the day that I cried the one and only time on a job site. I don't cry. Well, I think as I'm getting older, I start crying, but I don't cry. I don't get upset. I work through it. We figure it out. I have this great tile guy. He does construction and tile and all kinds of things. He was there with me. Thank God he was there that day. So this other person, designer, threw me to the wolves, and they were from Mexico City and had a home in Coronado, and something happened with their master bathroom. I came in and it was a wreck. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what she was doing before. Anyways, so we I came in, we got the correct tile, we figured out we needed to rip everything out, put it back in, we saved the doors, we had to paint, we had to do all this stuff. Well, only thing I was supposed to do was come in to make sure that what she had designed was correct and kind of tell the guys what to do. Well, I get there, none of the guys know what to do. um, the person that they had hired wasn't even licensed, so I called people I knew to come in. So we transferred their people out, put these people in. um, Again, these aren't my clients. I'm just helping. And she didn't quite explain that to them and kind of just left for the whole time and never came back. So we did this job. I think it took us like 9 straight days. We didn't work on the weekend. So let's say 2 weeks. It was in Coronado, it was on the water. And we came in, and I remember speaking with the wife, and she was very sweet. And she's like, "This is what I want." Then the husband came home, and he was livid. And I don't really remember why. I know we had, at this point, we were starting to tile. We were actually tiling the shower. Like we had fixed everything else. I guess they had a flood or something. So we'd fixed the walls, fixed the cabinets. I was literally painting the walls myself. By the way, I do know how to do a lot. Like I can build things, I can frame things, I can tile things, I I don't like to do plumbing. I don't like to do electrical. If I had to, I would. I wired all my lights that you can't see. I have a pretty little chandelier up there that I'm actually gonna be taking out soon. But I got stuck in the middle of this stuff. This is why I want to be fired sometimes. Anyways, so I'm standing there with my person and my guys, and my poor contractor, he's inside the shower literally tiling. I don't remember what he was yelling about, the saw. He was yelling about that this should have been done a week ago. He was yelling about it took 3 months to get here. And he's screaming at me. I don't have a contract with this guy. I don't need money for this guy. I made her pay me later because it was awful. And he is like literally inches from my face. I just stood there and I took it and I just said, "Don't worry, we're going to fix it. It's going to be all better. By tonight, it will be done." Which my guys knew, ooh, I guess we're working all night and getting this done. And I then said, "Okay." And he screamed at me for about another 5 minutes, 5 inches from my face, and then ran out into the living room and just sat down. And I said, "Okay, I'll be right back. I need to go get something on my car." I went down to my car. I got in the elevator. I made it all the way to my car. Thank God. I made it all the way to my car and I started crying. Not because I had hurt feelings, but because I was so angry that I got put in this situation, because this is not how I run my business. It's not how I run my jobs. This is not what we do. Like we have order and we have things in order. And she had screwed it up so bad before and thought, "Oh, I'll bring Ginger in to fix it," but didn't tell me any of the backstory. And I got just like whiplash. It was awful. I go, "It's just what it is. He's upset. He needed to vent himself. It's fine." So he said, "I'm not going back up there." I said, "Well, you have to, because I put my name on this or in it, and we finished stuff." So we did. We went up, we finished, it looked beautiful. They cleaned up. As they cleaned up, I'm literally painting walls and fixing stuff and doing things I don't need to do. And I'm cleaning up the floors and everything. I'm wiping down counters. I'm cleaning up as we're leaving. And we just walked right out that door, cleaned all the way up, all everything. And they had left, I think they had left like 15 minutes before we had left. They had to go to a dinner or something. They said just lock the door. And his wife came back in and like apologized to me. And I said, "Well, thank you. I understand. Construction is rough. Construction is stressful. Doing these types of things is really hard. I understand. It's okay. It is okay." And so she made her husband come and apologize to me. He didn't want to. I think he felt bad. I think he was just frustrated. But that's like, those are the days where you're like, "I'm quitting. I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore." I took 3 days off. I didn't talk to anybody. I didn't go see anybody. I didn't talk to clients. I put out my on vacation. Thank God it was a Thursday when this happened. So I just took Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. I was back to normal, totally fine. I was supposed to go back and take pictures. I never did. And I made her collect the money and then she had to pay me. And she was not very happy about that. But that's what happens when you put someone in that situation. So there's stories like that. So again, have thick skin. Do not cry in front of the client. But there's always a way to talk through it. There's always a way to get through it. So this industry is fulfilling and rewarding, but it's tough. It's tough. And there's a lot more things like legal issues and all kinds of stuff. So you have to be careful, but have fun and just be who you are. So I tell every client this, don't steal this from me, but I tell every client this, you'll love me in the beginning, you're going to hate me in the middle, but then you're going to love me again when we're all done. They never believe me, and it happens, and it's because of frustration. Frustration in construction is hard. No matter how much we communicate, it's hard because if they don't hear from you every single day, they think nothing's happening. And they don't know we do a lot of things behind the scenes so we can get things done without them knowing, so we don't put the stress on them because that's our job. So again, totally different podcast because I wanted to talk about the business more just because of a few things that happened yesterday that kept me away, and I think it's important. So anyways, have fun. Go start a business. Get fired. See you later. Bye. Thanks for listening to Single Stories, where design meets real life, one story at a time. This episode was produced and edited by Ginger Rabe. If you enjoyed this conversation, be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast, and don't forget to leave a review or share it with your friends.